NFL teams are now 3-10 the week after playing the Texans. And that's some great news for the Seattle Seahawks and Seahawks fans like me. The Seahawks are going to go play one of the toughest games they've had in a while at Arrowhead in Kansas City on Christmas Eve. And we're 7-7 at this point in a game that we pretty much need to win. And there's a lot to break down going into this game, including the over-under, because I kind of think it's crazy that, these two teams are teams that are probably going to score a lot of points, but the weather is now also an issue. And there's just too much going on here. And the Chiefs played a bad game last week. I'm ready to just rant and break down everything about this Seahawks-Chiefs game. And before we break that down, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button so you know when I post videos. Any support means the world to me. I'll be doing videos on all sports and, of course, some Seahawks stuff because I'm a little biased towards the Seahawks. But let's get to the video. So today's going to be one of the more chill videos that I've done in a while. There'll be some editing on the screen and whatnot, but it's going to be a lot of me just talking Seahawks football. It's one of my passions, obviously, and this is what I've been doing a lot on this channel, and I just want to sit and talk about what's about to happen, what's going on with this game coming up, and what's going on with the playoff standings. So for the Seahawks, first and foremost, they're going to Arrowhead on Christmas Eve. That's never going to be an easy game. You should never expect it to be an easy game because you're going to Arrowhead. You're playing Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and it's a Christmas Eve game, so obviously their fans are going to be pumped up. It's probably a lot of people's presence. It's going to be loud. And they just came off a pretty bad week, even though they won. A pretty bad week against the Houston Texans. So I don't know what to take of that. Does that mean, they're going to follow that up with an ass beating of the Seahawks? Or does that mean that there's some flaws that we've missed and they're going to play another little bit of a sketchy game? Not sure. But what I am sure of is it's going to be hard to score points. Now, that's actually probably more helpful for the Seahawks here. While the Seahawks defense hasn't been playing great, we're talking about a game against, the most lethal offense we've seen over the last 5 years. And I know they're maybe not, I don't know the numbers exactly, but we all know a guy like Patrick Mahomes. He's already thrown for 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns this season with a couple games left. He's going to hit 40 touchdowns on the year. And we know he can score. And we know our defense is bad at stopping people. But the good news here is at kickoff, it's estimated to be a feels-like temperature of -6 degrees. Now, as much as the Seahawks rely on offense as well, I think we're the 5th highest scoring team in football. I'd rather have our offense be a little bad if that means the other team's offense is going to be bad. Because at the end of the day, if you're talking about a close game in the fourth quarter, anyone can win. And the Seahawks offense has been carrying the defense, and it just hasn't been enough. And I know this Chiefs team, if this was in perfect weather elements, who am I kidding? I'm not, I love the Seahawks, but I'm not biased here to tell you that I think we're a better team than the Chiefs. No, in a clean elements, if this was in a perfectly warm game or in a dome stadium, the Chiefs would probably kill us this week. But we're talking about freezing temperatures. Who knows what that means? I don't know if that means there's any snow expected or whatever. It's still elements. -6 feels like. That means the wind chill is going to be insane. So this Chiefs offense might actually be giving us a break against this defense, and that's the first thing I'm hoping for. Despite it all, you still see the matchup predictor on ESPN has the Chiefs at 86.7%. They're 9.5-point favorites in Vegas. So, Vegas is expecting to win by around 10. That's how good they think they are. And you obviously have the over-under at 48.5. 24 points each team. It'd be a lot more than that if the weather was bad. So that's why I think that over-under is low. Now, why this is super important is because the Seahawks are 7-7. We're in that last playoff spot before the Commanders and the Giants. You have the Detroit Lions on our ass coming up. You obviously just are on kind of a bad streak right now. We're a perfect even on the year. 355 points scored, 355 points allowed. We're pretty much becoming right now at this point in the season the total definition of average. 7-7 with 355 points allowed and 355 points scored. Talk about average, even, the middle of the cusp. So this game is huge, and it's huge for a couple reasons. It's huge to figure out what's going on with Geno Smith in the future here. And he's been playing all right. I'm not sitting here to say Geno Smith hasn't. But what's going to go on with Geno Smith in his future? What's our status for the next couple weeks? If you lose this game, you have to win your next two to even have a chance. At 9-7, you maybe have a chance to make the playoffs. At 9-8, you have a chance to make the playoffs, but not even guaranteed. If you really want to make the playoffs, you want to win 3 straight and go 10-7. So this game has a lot of implications. What I'm interested in is a lot of people also don't know if they want the Seahawks to win this game. I've read a lot. I'm always on Twitter. I'm on YouTube here. I'm on places talking sports. A lot of people would like to see the Seahawks just, potentially lose a couple more games and get a 12th pick in the draft. You're already going to get the 2nd or 3rd from the Broncos. You might get closer to another top 10 pick. That's not the worst option in the world. And this is where I'm going to here. This game determines a lot, like I said, about Geno Smith. I talked about this in my last video. You'll see it on my channel. It's one of the last couple ones. There is the chance that Geno Smith and the Seahawks play bad for the next couple weeks, which means a better draft pick, which means pay Geno Smith less. That's a cool option. Even though I want to see the Seahawks make the playoffs, that's not a bad option. That's a cool option. Oh, wow, he plays not as good and you still pay him a little less, but he's playing good enough. And I'm not talking disastrous like Russell Wilson right now. I'm talking about we can't pay you $25 million a year. Here's 12, 15 on a 1-year deal. And you get a better draft pick. You get 2 top 12 or 15 draft picks. And the other beauty of it is if you beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, I know we're winning one of those 2 next games, if not the Jets and the Rams, and we're making a playoff run at 10-7. And when playoff football starts, anyone can win, especially with a good coach like Pete Carroll, especially just with the Seahawks history. I mean, I know we haven't had too much playoff success recently, but we've been in a lot of games. We've been in a lot of playoff opportunities, and you never know what happens. But the Seahawks injuries are getting a little bit out of hand now. We obviously still have Kenneth Walker, who's back, I believe, now completely, but he's been banged up. You had Jordan Brooks get hurt last week. DJ Dallas questionable. Noah Fant questionable. Ryan Neal questionable. Darrell Taylor questionable. Monet questionable. Or on the injury reserve, so not even questionable. Tyler Lockett's out with a broken hand. He's probably not coming back unless this team is in a must-win week 18 or 17, whatever it is now, or in the playoffs. He just had surgery today, but they're saying it could be a quick recovery type of surgery. This game is going to tell us a lot about what's about to happen. So I'm really excited to see it. What I want to know in the comments is, what do you want to happen? Seahawks to win and make this run towards the playoffs? Or do you want to see them potentially get a way worse draft pick, or way better draft pick? Get a worse record and get a way better draft pick, have 2 top 12 or 15 draft picks, and that probably means you can pay Geno Smith a little bit less money. Both options don't hurt. So as a Seahawks fan, as a sports fan, the Seahawks are in a win-win situation. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm Sammy on Tap. Please sub. Any support means the world. And let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I've been doing a lot of different videos. I'm not only going to do Seattle sports. I'm going to do a lot of Seattle sports. But I'm going to be doing NBA, NFL, all that stuff. So any support means the world to me. And we'll see you next time. Peace.